Ja, hallo und willkommen. Hello and welcome. Dobry dzień to this week's Swift Insider Tiny Race series. I was asked by some people if I can upload the video material and not just to upload it but also to give some comments about the race, my strategies, what happened and so on. So here we go. I'm talking in English because that were also English-speaking people who asked me, so I hope that's okay for everyone. And you understand my English. I'm sorry if I'm not speaking perfect. And you see the race has started. This is the first race. It's in Yorkshire. It's the Queen's Highway. 1 lap. Plus, as you call in German, Einführung. The lead-in. And yes, the first race is always the toughest one. Because everybody has fresh legs. And yeah, you can see how fast the start is. Going downhill now. In the super truck. And yeah, the power up which is available is a draft, so 30 seconds double drafting. I think it's very useful on this route. You will see how the race will finish, because where we are going now, there we will go in a few kilometers again. And the finish is at the top, at the sprint banner. Slightly uphill, so normally something I like. I hate if it's flat sprint or even a little bit downhill, because I'm quite light rider with my about 70 kilograms, and I don't have the absolute watts to follow the bigger guys, the sprint guys. Yeah. So far, nothing happened. The race will become a little bit slower now. I was hoping for a very quick first lead-in on this uphill section, but it wasn't that fast. So now it's just all about drafting, save as much energy as possible. Yes. So the guys you have to watch for are, for example, Magnus Wiklund from the Swedish team. I think it's called, give me a second, ESRT. That stands for, give me a second, Esports Race Team Riders. He has won the last week, where I became second in the general classification. And the week before, I was the winner of the GC, and Magnus was on the second place. So, yeah, we are quite on the same level. Who was also here? Benjamin Axt from the Talentfrei team. Very good rider. He has a race ranking from under 100, 97. So he's the number 17 in the B category overall. Also, yes, very strong opponent. Who was also here, my friend from Portugal. I thought he would start, but I can't see him in the results. I'm looking now at the results, but he isn't here. Pedro. Okay. So, but Nohea Monio is also there from Japan. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so sorry. Now we see some attacks. And I just try to close them and don't go in the wind, just close the gap. And yes, that wasn't a very hard or long attack. But you can see in the mini-map that the peloton is very stretched, and I think some people will lose contact to the leading group in the descent now. You can see also Klaus Neher from the team Talentfrei, strong rider. And yes, the last guy you have to watch is from Denmark, Christian Quisgaard. he will also perform quite good today. There were a lot of riders who performed very well today, so I can't give you all the names. So sorry if I don't. Yes, said your name if you're watching now. Yes, we are in the descent now. Again, super tuck, saves some seconds energy. And we are on the final 2000 meters. I try again to be in a good position, completely in the draft, but not too much at the end, if some gaps would open. Some people are using the draft now. I don't know why. And also in the front position, where it makes no sense because they have no draft. 2 times no draft is also no draft. Le Capitaine gives me a ride on. Greetings to Jan, my ZRL captain, and Roman has also a very nice YouTube channel. You can check it out on YouTube. It's called Edelhelfer. I can put the link in the description. And yeah, I'm talking so much and we are already almost at the Flamme Rouge, the last 1000 meters. And yes, my pulse is okay. Under 200 is, from me, it's okay. It's comfortable. But I think it will, yes, you see, it will increase quite fast. Decrease. No, increase? I mixed up the words, sorry. It's rising. And yeah, 800 meters to go. And I'm just drafting. And now attack from Bang Madsen from Danish Zwift riders, followed by a Japanese guy, T. Kaga, and C. B. This is Chris Benham from the Vision team. And now, attention, Magnus is coming from behind. So that was the sign for me to follow him. And I used my drafting boost, in German Windschatten boost. I thought it would be too early and that it would be disappeared when we are at the finish line. But in the end, it was good timing, I think. Good position behind Magnus in the draft. And now, all out, I think I hit the 1000 watts. Yep. And now the draft boost is away, but it's fine because I'm in the wind and took the win. And now, real quick, change the world so you have a good position in the start pen. And after that, it's time for suffering. Yeah, pulse 225 is, yeah, almost my limit. Okay, so here we are now in New York. Okay, I skipped a little bit, so now 3 minutes ago we had a little bit of nice chats. Said good morning, and yeah, Monio from Japan said, "Mattress, not you again, beast." That's because we raced, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago in Innsbruck on the Zwift Classics. Very, very hard finish. I pushed my all-time 30 seconds best power to take the win in front of him. Yeah, and he has a really nice blog. You can check it out. I can also put the link in the description, which was very entertaining to read the race description. It's very nice, so yeah. Okay, here we go. 10 seconds to go. In the chat you can see that I said that my first name is Simon, because I think it's always I feel very uncomfortable if you're called with your last name, if you just see Matros. But yeah, it's quite difficult in Zwift because you only see the last names in the list on the right side, so yeah, would be cool if you could change that somehow, I don't know how, so. Not important. So here we are in Yorkshire. This is the route, the 6 train. The power up, as you can see, is a feather. It's the inner circle of the Central Park loop. So we are turning right in a few seconds. And also on the other side of the park, we are not taking the steep part, we are turning right before. And then it's a flat, I think even a little bit downhill finish. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I hate fast, flat or downhill finishes. But yeah, we will see. I'm again on the same bike setup, the Specialized Venge S-Works with the DT Swiss disc wheels, the fastest aero setup in the game. And yeah, the start is still fast, but not as fast as the first race. This is something you will see every Saturday on the 20 race series. Yeah. And now it's again the same story. It's just drafting, save as much energy as possible, don't go to the front. Watch carefully for attacks. I have to say that I'm sometimes too motivated and enthusiastic and want to close down attacks and gaps. Definitely a point I have to work at. But in the race, I'm not have the time. Yeah, perfect time, and you can see Nakajima is attacking, and okay, just follow him. Let's go. But we are such a big bunch. He wouldn't have any chance, so it's a little bit of wasted energy. But okay, why not? And I never go to the front if I follow an attack. I just draft. In German we say lutschen. So I'm just lutschen die ganze Zeit. And yes, in a few seconds the bunch will be back. And that's it. I saved my power up till the finish line, you will see. Some people will use it now or on the next small climbs. But I have normally no problem to follow the bunch on these climbs, so I thought, let's save it for the final maximum output sprint. And yeah, I don't know if this year was an attack or don't know, but same story. Just draft and follow. In the minimap you can see again that the peloton is once again very long line. And yes. Okay, now is not that much happening, so I can give you quick the results from the first race. So as you saw, I took the first place, followed by the Danish rider Christian Quisgaard and Chris Benham, Benjamin Axt on the fourth place, Magnus Wiklund on the fifth place, and the top 10 are completed by Jacob Larsen, Max T, T. Hansen, Klaus Nea and John Bowles. Yeah, I can tell you Benjamin Axt is the one to watch for the GC. This is the toughest opponent for me in this week. Yeah, so 3.4 kilometers to go. And the bunch is very wide again, so it's always a sign that the pace isn't that high. Let me take a little bit of coffee. Downhill again, so it's time for super tuck. You know, you can super tuck when you're going, I don't know, 57, 58 kilometers per hour and a gradient of -3 or -4%. So do this every time it's possible, but pay attention that you start pedaling not too late. Otherwise, there's very, very quick a gap and you will never close it again. Even especially in short races like this where the pace is very high. So the next kicker, I didn't want to attack. And now the next attack, and same story. I tried to follow, but I think now I know this is not necessary, and yes, you see, I let him go because there's already the front of the peloton. Maybe these are some watts I wasted I could use in 2 kilometers, because you will see I will not finish on the podium in this race. I can say this already. And yes, the next feather power-ups are used. 115 riders in the second race. And yeah, I think this is the last kicker. Not that steep, so you can draft it. I'm a little bit too far in the front. You can see it in the position of my avatar that I'm sometimes in the wind. It's not necessary, but yeah, okay. But I think it's better to be too far in the front than too far at the back. When sprinting starts and you're too far behind, you have no chance to come back. So, yeah. So, we are almost at the Flamme Rouge again. After 7 minutes. 5.3 kilometers done. And now it's already starts to become very fast. I hate it, you can see it in my face. I'm just like, why are you starting already? We have 1k to go. Come on! I don't want to sprint that long. Pulse 212s. Not my comfort zone. So far a good position. But still 800 meters to go. And I think in a few seconds the sprint will start. There's Benjamin Axt. And I think now I'm using the feather a little bit too early. But I saw all the other feather power-ups, and so I was like, okay, maybe this is a moment. And now the sprint starts almost 500 meters before the finish line. I started maybe a little bit too late to go in the orange numbers. And you can see Benjamin Axt with 15 watts per kilogram. And yeah. But I chased down some riders. Again over 1000 watts. And in the super tuck on the last meters. And now same story. Change the world. I missed the button, and now it's time to suffer. And bring the pulse down and spin your legs and get the lactate out of your legs. And get some air and yeah. So here we are in Richmond. We are on the Richmond UCI course reverse, so it starts downhill. It's quite nice because it's not that hard the first minutes or minute of the race, because you can go to the super tuck quite fast early in the race. It's very short. It's just about 4 kilometers. We are taking the 2 climbs. What is it called? It's just called Short Kicker on Zwift Insider, and the second one is a Libby Hill. And then it's not finishing at the top, but in the descent. So yeah, it was quite difficult to handle for me. The timing and also the power-ups. The power-up was a ghost. And this was a race where I was totally lost. I had absolutely no control over the race strategy and my plan. I had no plan. I was just like, whew, what am I going to do now? And it was just by my Intuition in German. I don't know the English word. Bauchgefühl. I heard on my inner feelings and just did what I did. My legs were quite heavy, so it was very, very difficult for me to go over the 2 kickers with the front group. But it wasn't just for me that the legs were heavy. You will see that the peloton will completely break into several groups, even on the first climb now, which starts right after the corner now. Only 2.4 kilometers to go. And here we are. Maybe it's called the 23rd Street climb. That's what's graphic on the left side says. And yeah, at the front, Mr. Yoon from Korea, I saw Bang Madsen with orange numbers. I was definitely not able to follow, so I tried to write very constantly, about 6, 7, 8 watts per kilogram. And now at the steepest point, I was like, okay, short, hard effort to come back to the front group. You can see that they are going not that fast now. And I managed to do it. Now we are together. And you can see the split in the mini-map. So we are, I don't know, about 10 or 12 riders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think we managed it to get away. Now I got the ghost. And yeah. Very short super tucks. No super tuck. You can see it that I'm very confused because my avatar wasn't going in the super tuck position. I had no idea why. But yeah, no problem. Yeah, 12 riders, I think. And now it's the second climb. It's the Libby Hill. I think. And here we go. Also very steep. 70-80%. And yep, time for orange numbers. And it's getting a little bit flatter after the first few meters. You can see only 4%. Now the first riders start to use their invisible power up. And yep, the next one. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Doesn't make much sense, but okay, just do it. In German we would say Gruppenzwang. And yeah, at the KOM banner we grabbed the next ghost. 2 riders away in the front. The Spanish guy, I don't know his name. And another guy, I don't know. And now the super tuck is working again. I was curious if it will not work again, but it was okay. So that makes no sense why it takes the invisible now. So you don't have to ask me why I did this. And now this will be such a close finish. Only 300 meters and nobody started with an all-out sprint. So I was like, what's happening? Why is nobody sprinting? Let's go. And it is so close. But yeah, Benjamin take the win. I started a little bit too late. But yeah, it was a downhill sprint, so yeah, nothing from me. So the, I don't know, second place, yes, is more than good. And yeah. And for the last race, we are on gravel in Watopia. So I decided to buy a new gravel bike. I had some, and then I just looked very quick to the Zwift Insider, which is the fastest aero gravel bike, and it said, okay, Cervelo Aspero, so just take it. Yeah, a little bit of shopping in the morning. So here we go, 10 seconds to go. You can see in the chat there were a little bit of discussion, conversation about which bike to take. A lot of riders are not on gravel or mountain bikes. You will see in the next minutes that there are some riders on the Tron bike or normal road bikes with the disc wheel. And yeah, normally that shouldn't be a good choice on this route. In the beginning, yes, it's paved, it's tarmac, but after 1 or 2 kilometers, it's only dirt. So gravel or mountain bike, I think the gravel is the better choice. And yes, I had some problems to get in a nice position in the bunch. You see, I think that's caused by the road bikes. They are going faster, so it's not as easy as I expected to stay in the bunch. You will see, I try to super tuck now, but the character immediately stops it to super tuck because we are not fast enough, or the gradient is not steep enough. But yeah, I will manage to stay in the group. The finish line is where the jungle loop starts. So quite easy to see where the finish will be. I will give you the results from the races 2 and 3. I forgot. So as you saw, the second race, Benjamin Ax took the win in front of Jacob Larsen, Chris Benham, and me. And the top 10 are completed by Jesse Decker, Ben Bradley, Klaus Neher, Karl Lunci, Andreas Jarlstig und Magnus Wieklund. And in the third race, it was again a win from Benjamin, followed by myself, Jacob Larsen again, Steen Bang Madsen, Masahiro Nishikawa, Vincent Kedroa, Klaus Neher, Sylvie, Jesse Decker again, and Mr. Port. So the situation was, I took 1 win, 1 second place, and 1 fourth place. And Benjamin took 2 wins and a 4th place. So my goal was to finish in front of Benjamin. He's the strongest guy in the GC battle. Who also was very good was Jacob Larsen. He finished in the first 3 races 2nd, 3rd, and 6th. But yeah, my goal was to stay in front of Benjamin. And yeah, with a little bit of luck, maybe I could take the GC win. But this was definitely not my route. It's almost all the time downhill and a very quick finish. So I had a very bad feeling about this one. And I said to myself, okay, top 10 would be fine. That would also enough to finish in the top 3 of the general classification. Yes. Now a little kicker up the bridge, but nothing spectacular is happening. Just 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 seconds effort to stay in the bunch. And yes, it's all downhill. By the way, we have no power-ups because we are not going through any banners or segments or stuff like that. So it's just about who has the best legs, the freshest legs, because it's the 4th race in just an hour. And I think everybody is completely suffering in their pain caves. And yes, the front group isn't that big. I think maybe 50 people, so only less than half of all the starters. And you can see there are not that many road bikes or tram bikes left. And yeah, 2.5 kilometers to go. Just draft. There shouldn't be any attacks, I thought, because it's downhill, and if you're attacking alone, it's difficult, especially if it's going downhill. The bunch is so much faster than run solo rider. So, yeah. 2 kilometers to go. Very wide peloton, so the pace isn't that high. Pulse is also under 200. And yeah, I tried to stay in lower gears and a lower cadence this time. And I think that's worked quite well. This is not very comfortable, or not my comfort zone cadence. But yeah, I did a individual time trial some days ago in Bologna, also the Zwift Classics, and I was riding with a very low cadence, and this felt quite nice. So I decided to be in a harder gear earlier in the race and not only on the last meters. We are now at the Flamme Rouge. So now it's all about positioning and timing. And I was looking, where's Benjamin? Where's Benjamin? When will Benjamin go for the sprint? It's quite difficult in a very big group to see the other riders. And yeah, 700 meters to go. Gladfully not that long sprint, like in New York, where we were now already sprinting all out. 600 meters to go. And now the first guy is starting from Australia, Mr. Booth. And yeah, now I'm not going all out. I just try to get in the draft of the front guys. Okay, it's almost all out. 800 watts. And yeah, now I see, okay, maybe I can get them. So put some more power in the pedals. And now I'm so much suffering. This is so painful. I can't describe it. This is, you see it in my face. It's a mix of happiness and pain, and yeah, I really needed some minutes to be able to get on my feet. And yeah, so in the end I took the win in front of Magnus and Jacob Larsen, and Benjamin finished only, so it's still a good position, on the 4th place. So that means the overall win.